At some point during your driving test, the examiner will ask you to pull over and will explain you are now entering the independent driving part of the test. This will be roughly a 10-minute section where he will ask you to follow directions in one of two ways. Either he will ask you to follow road signs to a particular destination, or he will explain the route he wants you to take by using a diagram. If he wants you to follow road signs, he will simply ask you to follow the signs to whatever destination he decides, and you should continue doing that until he tells you otherwise. If he uses a diagram, he will use one similar to the one shown here. There should be no more than 3 junctions to remember. In this example, he would say something along the lines of, "At the end of this road, turn left. At the end of that road, turn right. Then, at the first roundabout, turn right, taking the 3rd exit." It's important to note that the diagrams are not to scale, so whereas here, for example, it looks as though the roundabout is quite close to the 2nd junction, it could be any distance, and it could be any type or size of roundabout, including mini roundabouts, so you'll just be looking for the first roundabout. Now let's look at an example of independent driving using road signs. In this example, the examiner has told the pupil to follow the road signs to Aylesbury. The sign here tells us we must turn right at the next roundabout. We need to see that in good time and go into our roundabout routine as early as possible. Don't worry if you forget which way you are supposed to go, just ask. This is not a test to make sure you can remember directions. They want to make sure that you can drive safely without being given directions at each junction, as he will do for the rest of the test. Now we must keep an eye out for the next road sign. We can see it in the distance, so we can try to read it as early as possible. The sign tells us the route to Aylesbury is the 2nd exit off the roundabout, so we know not to signal on approach and to look for the correct lane. The lane we want is marked straight ahead, so we will take either the left or centre lanes. Now we will stay in this lane and make sure we remember that the sign told us we need the 2nd exit. So, as we pass the 1st exit, we must check our mirrors and then signal left for the next exit. If you go the wrong way, it's okay as long as you do so safely. He will direct you back on course again. Likewise, if you go the right way but, for example, forget to signal correctly or use the wrong lane, you may fail. The key to the independent driving part of the test is good forward planning. Make sure you don't forget to continue using your MSPSL junction routine and you should be fine. The best way to practice is to pick a destination before leaving home. Follow the road signs and ask your supervisor to watch you and make sure you are continuing to use your junction routine when you are also having to check directions for yourself. As with all elements of learning to drive, practice as much as you can.